I'm glad we learned something today. But yeah, so we've got Otsegoflesh up against TheCzarOfAll. Is it Czar? I'm probably gonna do it wrong all the
Czar,
time.
yes.
All right, doing it.
It's essentially Caesar, a Roman Caesar without the C.
Cool. So we've got him versus Otsegoflesh. Otsegoflesh, a platinum Terran from Illinois. He placed actually highest in the platinum leaguers in Shycraft Winter. That just happened a couple weeks ago.
Very nice.
And he beat me on ladder recently. That's how I played him on ladder, and I was like, dude, you didn't sign up for Midwest Cup yet. And so I gave him the link, and he was like, all right, I'm on it.
Very nice.
He's coming in to, chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I recently heard he just ran out of bubblegum. So,
and this was Otsegoflesh?
Yes.
Otsegoflesh?
I'm going Otsegoflesh. I don't know if that's right, but
well,
you know what?
Before we jump in real quick, I wanted to remind everyone. I said this in chat, but it's always better when you hear it with the pretty mug and the nice voice. I just want to remind everyone to make sure to follow the stream, follow our Twitters. You can find it under our pretty faces. Keep up to date with where we're going. Of course, you can definitely keep up to date with Midwest Cup number 5. Actually, more importantly, we're gonna have date number 2 tomorrow. It's gonna be the finals. It's gonna be the last couple of rounds. It's gonna be in the money. Who's getting the big bucks? And then one last thing is, as always, thank you all for joining us. We got a pretty big number of people here now. Really, really glad to see people enjoying and interested. It's a real big weekend. StarCraft is really having a very strong beginning at the start of the year, and I'm really glad that all of you are joining us today. It's a fun day, and we're gonna keep plugging away.
Certainly, it's let me win. Should we have let me win saying? I think that's fine. We can keep salmon. I don't care.
Sure. I don't say why not.
But I'll talk about the TheCzarOfAll before as we're loading into this game. Let's see. He is a Diamond Zerg. He's from Ohio. And if you enjoy his play, you can follow him at TheCzarOfAll. It's the same thing on Twitter as he is in game, because he's a boss like that. He is the Czar. Anyway, he won the Akron Child's Play. I don't know where that is. I assume Akron, Ohio, or something, maybe. I guess that was a tournament there. That's pretty cool. And he won, I guess, maybe took second against a perhaps alleged or confirmed map hacker in the Cleveland Barcraft League. So,
nice.
He did well at the very least. And you know what, losing to a map hacker, whatever, And actually, I say one is Diamond and one is Platinum, but it looks like as they load in, they're both currently in Platinum League, so a little bit different. Might have gotten, again, the leagues were determined about a month ago, and then suddenly the season changed, and a couple of leagues have changed. But I think, as I said, Otsegoflesh beat me, and I'm usually a Diamond Zerg. I am back into Platinum, so I think it'll be good. It'll be
Scrub City
for me. But no, I think it'll be a fun match. Otsegoflesh, really good Terran actually. So
Kevin, may I introduce our first player?
Certainly, I've talked too much already.
That is all right. Spawning at the top right, our baby girl.
Oh my god.
Spawning a Zerg, the TheCzarOfAll.
He's going for the
He's trying to be
a little bit of
intimate.
distraction,
Well, that must mean that at the bottom left, or almost bottom left, the blue Terran for playing for Ashes is Otsegoflesh.
Holler.
I thought about that one.
EG ready call?
Once again, cool team decals, OP.
Definitely. So Sam, you know how we're in Team Yeti, and we still don't have a team decal.
That's right, we don't.
Kind of.
I don't know, Kev. I don't know, Kev.
They've got a phoenix being rebirthed from the ashes, so that's pretty sick. Do you think that means Hellbat play?
Well, obviously.
That would make the most sense, wouldn't it?
Or he'll float all of his buildings be at 100 supply deficit and still manage to win the game because Terran, right?
But you know what? I think fire and explosions are to Terran what lasers are to Protoss. I think they have a lot of options.
Very true.
They have tanks, you know, they have mines, doors.
Circling
You could
the
even
sky.
make the pitch for Marauders.
Yeah, I mean, shooting a bunch of rockets is always pretty fun out of your wrists. I miss Brood War
Mech-
Hellbats.
Yeah, they were cool.
Or fire bats.
Fire bats, yeah. that makes sense.
Do Reapers still throw grenades at buildings?
No.
No, they don't. They changed that towards the end of Wings, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right.
Yeah.
I remember they changed the amount of damage because it used to be shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
well,
used to be 3 Reapers could kill a spawning pool before it ever even finished building.
And I think it was about I think it was like the same time that Reapers became immortal. Is that they were like, okay, we probably shouldn't let them have grenades anymore, because they have to have the combat, you know,
Drugs.
combat drugs and the grenades, and they've only got so many hands, you know. The Reaper.
Ooh, 1 kill. Almost got the second spine crawler. Not
Was that
too
a-
bad.
Worker kill. Otsegoflesh. Killing it.
Yeah, and it's really not important on the Reaper Scout that you get a worker kill. It's kind of like a bonus.
It is
Of
a
course,
really...
you'd love 10 worker kills, but really, as long as you're getting the Scout, the Reaper's done his job. It's bad if he dies because you lose your.
No,
your second
absolutely, but it's never a bad thing to lose 1 drone as a Zerg, but it's just kind of it can set you off really easily.
Scout, right?
I mean, Jackson, some people would say it's a bad thing to lose a single Zergling to a Reaper, but
I would agree with that.
that's also
Dude.
up in like GM, and we're not quite
Yeah.
there yet, to be honest. But
You also don't
Otsegoflesh,
want to lose your scouting SCV, but again, I mean, relatively small mistakes there.
speaking
The
of
Reaper
which,
does get cleaned up.
yeah, cleaned up by the Queen, I suppose.
Yeah, pretty good play there out of the Tsar. Doing a good job. We do have a reactor factory and a starport on the way for the
Really
TheCzarOfAll.
fast
Zergling speed.
lair coming out from Czar. He didn't pull any of his drones off gas. He's still mining gas, and this is going to be before 7 minutes, I believe, when this finishes.
Oh,
So what's he
Interesting
going to do with
choice.
this without gas? I don't know what a layer is good for.
he was talking in chat. He was like, "Should I do a patented Tsar build?" And,
Yeah.
we're looking at Overlord speed. I guess Overlord speed's just good for some scouting as well. But I was about to say, if we see drops of something,
I hope
We
it's
see
Bane
the-
Rain because
I'm
Bane Lanes are
thinking-
cool.
Ultralisk drop.
Ultralisk drop.
Well, Nimitai's carapace is great, but you are right that this is kind of it's incredibly early. You know, in fact, it's going to be finished almost before the third base even drops. The third base is going to be like 10% done. So it's an interesting choice. I mean, it could just be this preemptive, I need them to move fast. But, you know, Lair is done well before 7:30. A handful of Hellions do go in to the main base, but there's a decent amount of links that seem to actually miss the scout.
Oh
We're
no!
gonna see how many
Yep,
drones
he
do
could
get killed.
get quite the road or the drone barbecue here if he doesn't get his drones out of the way. Oh, good surround.
Yeah, only a couple drones do go down. They
Clutch
weren't-
2 lanes going to the top side of the spawning pool there.
Yeah, I like the assist from the spawning pool. Really, yeah. bring
Yeah,
it
it's
bring it
actually in a
together.
really nice position for this map, and I hadn't mentioned that earlier. Spawning pools are interesting blocking, you know, because you can't do the Protoss, wall everything off, and there's not a bunch of stuff in the way for Terran. But a spawning pool specifically can actually be used as really nice early game, normally in ZVZ, but there's no reason it can't be used in ZVT either.
Yeah, a lot
So
of
we have
people
a s-
will put something behind their mineral line to try and get the Reaper to kind of mess up his pathing.
Yeah.
And then even here with the Hellions, it also useful. So
So we got 2 evolution chambers coming down, Baneling Nest and Spire for our Zerg hero, but no spores. So this is going to be a bad time. He's only got the 2 queens. He is not pulling his other queen down yet. Lings unfortunately cannot shoot up.
they will. The AI will target the Lings first. So if if Czar or if Otsegoflesh was not, you know,
Doesn't target down.
yeah.
Right, but it's better to lose Lings here than drones. I mean, they're still going to take 2 shots.
Certainly, it's not looking amazing for the Czar, but he's got a lot of gas banked. He has no
Yeah, he
minerals.
does.
though.
Well, and he's got the Spire down. So, I mean, as fast as he can mine minerals, he did just lose another 13 drones. But as
Sure.
fast as he can get minerals at this point, or 14 drones rather, he
He's
can crank out mutas.
But-
pretty far ahead in the work count, though.
Yeah, I was about to say we're talking about a lot of workers dying, but he's still ridiculously far ahead.
Otsegoflesh, I want to say Ostego. Otsegoflesh has not actually finished saturating his natural base.
Sure.
He doesn't actually have all the gas income, and I was actually kind of worried about such a fast Spire with so little gas, but compared to the gas of Otsego, it might not be the biggest thing. Oh, that's a
Oh
big
no, the
no.
drone's lining up. Oh,
wow, and transition into Hellbat at actually the wrong time for Otsego.
right,
He
very lucky timing there for the Tsar.
But that doesn't change the fact that there is a bunch of Hellbats raining fire on only buildings, but buildings aren't really good at fighting back, of course. A few Hellbats do chase down the drones, but a couple more seconds until the Mulas come out, and this will eventually be cleaned out. We're going to have to worry about this layer, though. It's going down very, very fast.
Yeah,
Oh,
Hellbat-
these drones! The drones!
Oh,
Oh no! Cleverly does split them, but we still have 9 drones sitting by themselves, unprotected. A reasonable Marine count, any number of Marines, I think is scary to attack into with mutas, and he certainly doesn't have enough yet to take a fight without ground support.
Absolutely. Baneling's fleet only just finished. He's going straight in with the Mutalisk and going to lose several of them, but there's no Banelings on the ground. The Hellbats are still a strong force. I don't believe they have stim, but that's still a lot of anti-air damage.
Oh my goodness. Otsego is making the magic happen here. All the numbers were against him.
He really is.
He's just camping. He's just decided he wants to win the game.
He skipped a pretty big amount of SCV production, but at the same time, Czar was being incredibly greedy with his build order. And it has left him open at a very defenseless time, and that's GG the first game.
yeah. So that was pretty nuts. I don't know, just a lot of weird things. A lot of weird things going on with that one. Let's see.
Kevin, could you get out of the game?
No, not at all. I'm staying in this game. This is my game.
Sassy.
No, but I could see where the Tsar was going with that one. It's actually, I mean, to harken back to talking about Honey Bear a little bit in his Midwest Cup. Oh, should we tell the players that they're playing up to losers are on 5?
Yeah.
Can we say that?
Yeah, I was thinking we might do winner of Hypernia Jibba de Hibbo against Rexov Onlin.
Sure.
Because after that we have GMs versus Scrubs.
Are Hypernia and why are those games so? They seem like really delayed.
What do you mean?
Hypernia and Rexa, their respective
Round
games.
2.
Yeah.
I think they should be playing
Okay.
whenever they're ready.
Okay. Cool.
They know they should be. They might not have reported yet. I'll check in with them in a minute.
Cool. Do you want to make one of us a ref, and then we can go ahead with this game? We're loading in on Expedition Lost. But yeah, as I was saying, the Tsar, I like the really early mutas sometimes makes sense. Oh no!
Switch!
Well, looks like we've had both players loading as oh, that works for you to just leave. Huh.
Did I quit? Did
Yeah.
it work?
Yeah, it worked. It stopped. So I
Okay.
guess Jackson, your host. Okay, so we almost loaded into the
okay.
game with both players as Terran when it really should be a ZVT.
Will you re-invite me, Jackson?
Sure.
Thanks.
Maybe. I don't know.
I saved you guys.
So yeah, we nearly loaded into the game as a TVT instead of a ZVT, which is not quite what we want. But yeah, I think we're ready now though, and we are probably going to be loading up into this game. But yeah, the fast mutas, sometimes it can definitely work if you get out there and, you know, the Terran's overmade Hellions. He's got 6 Hellions and 2 Reapers or something, right? And he's got 2 Marines, and then you've got 7 mutas, and 7 mutas most of the time is a pretty wimpy force, but against only a couple of Marines, you can just camp, you know, right on top of everything and really pull out a nice win. But it is a bit risky, and it is it's a pretty, I don't know if I want to say technical, but I don't know, it's a tough build to pull off.
Yeah, it's a really time intensive build and has this weird homage to like Savior's 2-base. You know, before all the fun scandal stuff, he kind of saved Zerg with this 2-base muta play, and like I've been seeing a little bit of like pseudo like 2.5 base, where like the lair is done and the 3rd base is like halfway done and like the spire is starting, so it's not like as aggressively defensive, but still like really pushing this muta, because you're right, without enough Marines you can clean up this kind of scary mid-game push or early mid-game push that Terran have been really trying to go for.
Sure, and I think especially just on Secret Spring, right? That map, that the ramp is so far away from, you're not able to block it off with queens very well at all.
Yeah.
And so that Hellion push just really effective there.
It's a very, very big main base.
Yeah.
In fact, all these main bases are very large.
Yeah. Anyway, we've loaded up into Expedition Lost, the Frost map, kind of. Sure. And spawning down in the bottom left-hand side of the map, we've got our, I guess he's our contender, kind of. He is the TheCzarOfAll, the purple Zerg, trying to fight for his life down here in the losers bracket.
Well, I guess that means in the top right, we have our pink Terran player playing for Ashes. His name is Otsegoflesh. He's up 1-0. He just needs to take one more game in order to advance through the bracket.
Yeah, and we'll see. I think maybe all of the ZVTs. We haven't seen a lot of ZVTs, but I guess Zan just recently beat Warren on this map with an interesting mech push.
Yeah, that was an interesting game. I was kind of recapping on quite a bit of it, and a huge so there's this big argument against mech being boring and not doing anything, but that is not at all what Zan was doing. I'm sure you noticed how late that 3rd base was, and how Warren essentially had to force a double 3rd, 4th base.
Yeah.
And although Warren was able to do some good damage early, that kind of pseudo roach all in set him up to this really, really slow 3rd base, and instead of this kind of boring do-nothing mech, it was just kind of waiting for the right time. Ooh, nice pickup on the SCV. Always like to see that.
Interesting choice. Most people wouldn't go for it because you can usually mineral walk through, but, you know,
yeah,
picks it up.
I never really care enough.
Yeah.
Mainly because I always miss somehow.
Yeah. But yeah, it's, well, the Tsar going for maybe a little more standard. I guess I think this is about the same opener. We'll see what he does with these drones on gas. Yeah, we'll see if he keeps them on there to go for that early there, or if he pulls it off to instead, because a lot of times maybe you'll get a quick speed and then you pull off drones for a little bit off of the gas, get a little more minerals, get 4 queens, and then put back into gas and take a 3rd, and so on and so forth. But there's also a lot of choices to do. So that Reaper though, it's making that money. Well, being all sorts of cost effective.
Yeah, well, I was actually just noting about how significantly faster Otsego is than Tsar, and that it really actually, like, although it's not the biggest problem at this level of play, it really does kind of make a big difference at this part of the game. When you have 2 equally sped units, but one shoots and one doesn't. He does. Czar is able to clean it up, and at the same time really slow down the command center of Otsego. I believe that actually happened in Warren's game on this map.
Yeah, and so now Czar's been able to take out, I believe, 2 of the SCVs, and he's also taken out that Reaper, so he's feeling pretty comfortable with his opening, most likely.
Yeah, a couple of Lings did go down. He had to build several too, but with delaying the Grand Center so much, he's kind of really made up for it. He's about a 10 drone lead. Not the heaviest of investments into Lings. He does have a decent, or a couple extra Overlords, but not the biggest thing, and going for a pretty fast Roach wearing.
Yeah, I mean, on this map, I can see that being pretty understandable because this third base is super hard to hold on to as a Zerg. Like, it feels so very far away. And so, getting some safety roaches, or maybe even going for a bust. He's got the Roach Horn and the Baneling Nest coming down. Not a lot of gas, though, so he's got some banked up, but I don't know if that's enough.
Actually the thing that I was going to note about Warren's build is that I remember, so the stream's a little bit delayed, but I remember you guys mentioning how hard it is to take down a bunker. Even if you get it close, if you don't get it all the way, the second those SUVs go, it's kind of over. And the thing that I was noticing is there was not a single Baneling and there's quite a few more Lings. It looked like an okay amount of gas. And Czar is able to clean up this Hellion Force pretty well, but there was a nice scout on the Banelings. But like I was saying, there's just no Banelings with a good deal of roaches.
Yeah, that was a little weird about Warren's attack. I mean, he pushed up, he got a volley off or two on the on the bunker, but yeah, as I mentioned, if you don't kill it in those first couple of volleys, the repair is really only going to get better and better, and you're only just going to keep losing more roaches. And so now we're seeing a bit of a, maybe not we'll call it an all-in, I don't know. But
there's not a lot of gas, though.
Yeah, it's enough for enough Banelings to break through. Although Czar chooses not to morph Banelings this time.
Yeah, again, no Banelings, and gets the
bunker there.
Does get it down.
Oh, Widowmine friendly fire kills off a ton of SCVs.
This might actually work out quite a bit better. There is a Banshee here to clean things up, but these roaches are going to do quite a bit of work. I felt that too.
Yeah.
I think that was me.
I'm not sure. It might have been me in that. Anyway.
Widowmines on the high ground need to burrow really, really fast. The ones on the low ground aren't going to be able to do too much at the moment. And this will get cleaned up, but that did quite a lot more work. Nice micro against the Widowmines. This is just done way more than it should. SCV count is now over 10 below the drones. Not an end-all be-all bust. He's getting Banelings this time. I think this might be a bit of an overcommitment, especially with how many mines are here. But we'll have to see. There are no roaches to speak of.
Yeah,
also.
I mean, I do like the there is a hatchery behind this though. So Otsegoflesh, I mean, yeah, like you said, maybe a little overcommitment. If he kills a couple supply depots, that's very good. I mean, it doesn't quite supply block him, but he brings Otsegoflesh to nearly a supply block, and he's gonna have to rebuild those supply depots. That's just more time and money.
Absolutely.
That he's got to invest, and yeah, really, pretty well done with that attack. Even just a couple of Zerglings into this base, and they have no contention. It's just a few mines that you can just kind of skirt around and keep on killing off SCVs, and all the while he's very smartly droning up very heavily in the background.
Yeah, the drone count is really now starting to take its toll, and you know what I was mentioning about the overcommitment is he's done more damage, but he probably could have just gone for the drones without that extra bust.
Yeah.
He has taken another extra lead. Has a ton of mines, but I'm not sure it was necessarily all that necessary to go for the extra bust. It didn't hurt him at all. I'm just not sure how much it really propelled him. A little bit of a late spire, but I mean that's kind of due to the extra commitment into roaches and banelings. There's not really any fear of drops whatsoever, so it's not going to be too problematic that it's late. Cloak has not been invested, even though, and actually I think Otsego is just going to drop the whole Banshee idea as it is. Sorry, my mouse is screwing up.
Yeah, I think he hasn't really seen what the Tsar is doing really at all, but he might just be kind of feeling, all right, Mutas is a pretty common follow-up to this, although making Marines out of Tech Labs barracks makes me sad.
Yeah, that is unfortunate, but I think it was the lack of roaches in the second attack that really kind of tripped him off. If there was another 10, 12 roaches, that would have pushed Spire back so far. Might not even gone for a Spire at that point. No Cloak, so the Banshee is going to get pushed back pretty fast. Might actually be able to get this Queen. No, he does fall back. But yeah, I think he's just kind of prepping himself for a kind of what's going to become a standard game from the Tsar.
Yeah, and it's at this point that, we don't have another command center down for the Terran player yet. He's not out of it, but he's still way below in workers. He's up in army supply, but that's the sort of thing that will be flip-flopped if the Tsar is able to just be focusing on attacking units now that he's basically finished droning, although he's a little low. He's at 55. Usually it's 66 or so. That is a magical little number. 66, 70 for 3 bases. But yeah, the income's still highly in the Tsar's favor. A big old Ling Bling Muta army. We'll see if these Widow Mines can be effective, or they just get cleaned up because they're all bunched and the Banelings do the work on them. And the Zerglings with the Mutas, just enough to clean up this force, and going to be able to go either put some counter pressure on or just stay at home and take a fourth. When you're ahead, time to just stay ahead.
So, sorry about that. I got a little bit distracted, but I was paying attention. I just couldn't talk. And one thing that was problematic, you're right, is the Widow Mines. That wasn't the scariest of Zergling forces. Or of Zerg forces in general, sorry, but without any of that huge damage output from like 6 or 7 mines, it just kind of exponentially becomes more problematic for the Terran. Yeah. And without a third base, with a bunch of Banelings about to knock on the gate,
it's a big
this
bust.
might well be the end of Game 2. It looks like we're going to go into a tied Game 3. This is going to be a lot of SCVs dead. And that's GG.
TheCzarOfAll. I wonder if that was I don't know if that was the patented Tsar build,
right back.
but I liked it. All right, no problem, man.
If the patented Tsar build means more Banelings, I want to see it again. The only thing that could have made that game better was if Banelings were burrowed. That didn't, in fact, happen.
Certainly.
But it could in the future. And with that hope, I'm excited for Game 3.
He's got one more game to try out the burrow.
He's got one more game to pull it off.
So we will see. We'll see if it works out. Looks like Jackson's gonna be. Well, oh shoot, we're gonna have to wait for him to join the game, aren't we? Should we kick him?
Yeah, we can.
I don't know. We might just go without Jackson. Sorry, Miss Jackson. That song has literally, dude. So like Isaac, my roommate. All right.
Has he been singing it?
Yeah, he comes downstairs. Well, he wakes up, 10:30 when I'm already making lunch because I was like, well, I've been up since 6. No, and he just comes down. And he's just like singing and dancing, and like now I just have. I guess the song's name is Miss Jackson, probably, right? I don't know what it's called. Whatever. But now that song, and then seeing Jackson's name, I'm like, sorry, Miss Jackson. Just all day. It's terrible. Need to get that out of my head.
It's a catchy freaking song.
It is. I don't even know.
Right, so we're going to Game 3 on Overgrowth. This is like... which one of them is Tsar?
Wait, what?
Correct, Tsar is.
Tsar is the Zerg.
But yeah, I mean, so Overgrowth is like a super, super balanced map. You can do anything here on either side in either matchup, regardless of what you want to do. So pretty cool to see Game 3 on this map. It's one of those where it's like, you're not going to see the game get turned around because somebody snuck through and, broke down the rocks on one side.
Yeah, well, and it's the, it's the, maybe not iconic, but sort of iconic, like, this is the map, If you've got a Game 3 between Jaedong and Flash, they're going to go on Overgrowth, and they're going to duke it out. And similarly to Flash and Jaedong, we have Otsegoflesh and TheCzarOfAll, the champions of our time right now, seeing what they can do, coming in onto Overgrowth.
Holy train.
The pain train is rolling through. That was good. Good
that
timing.
Sounds unpleasant for sleeping.
Sam, have you ever been doing like an Immortal All-In and the train comes by? Because that would be awesome.
No, I would love that. Like a Century Immortal All-In.
Yeah. And
Parting
just,
train. That'd be awesome.
I wish you could play, like, you could chat with your opponent during game, like you can in, like, shooters or fighters.
Oh my gosh. Or like after you
just
kill
be
your
like,
opponent.
that's the pain train coming.
Have you ever, like, been loading into a game and the train comes by and you're like, this is the moment. This is the moment.
No, I should, though. I should be like, this is a good omen.
Very much.
I should just Immortal Sentry All-In more often, just like, who was it? It was Pult, yeah?
Sure, I don't know.
Or, no, not Pult.
Holt isn't...
I mean, he's Terran, but he probably do a decent amount.
No, yeah, I mean, so that's wrong anyway. Shoot, who was our hero that Century Immortal All-In? Like a boss, like all through the entire tournament.
It does. I don't even know anymore. It's
you know what I'm talking about, though?
No.
Oh, shoot. Maybe the chat will help us out when they catch up to us.
I don't know.
If somebody in chat can tell me who that is, he's a Protoss. He's always been good. He's still good, but he Century Immortal All-In and showed us you can beat anybody.
Our tournaments or
no.
Oh, it was parting. It's always
parting.
Probably oh my gosh, you're ridiculous, Sam.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about in like your tournament or like in Shycraft, and I was like,
Sam, you struggle. You disappoint me as a Protoss.
I literally just said parting Soul Train.
All right, moving on. Sam disappoints. He doesn't even know who parting is. Our pink Zerg. He just came back in game number 2 to make it an even fight. Can he bring it back on Overgrowth for a win in the losers bracket? It is the Czar of all.
And go for it. You go for it.
And spawning at the bottom right.
Left.
Just dropped a game right. The exact opposite, you might say. But spawning at the bottom right, our red Terran. Who's this? This is Otsegoflesh.
Sam, you're kicked out. You're done.
I know, right?
It's the bottom left.
Noob City.
That's awesome.
Demote to ban from game.
Yep.
Send to score screen.
Oh, Sam. All
right.
right.
Anyway, I just want to remind you, as a Protoss player, you should believe that SOS is God, because there is no other Protoss but SOS.
I believe he can grant wishes right now.
He can. Anyway, looks like third time in a row for the build order from both of these guys. I mean, it's not really a build order. It's just kind of a let's open and get things going. Actually, a really fast second barracks. As I say something, of course things have to change. So really fast second barrack for Otsego instead of a fast expansion. He might be looking a bit more aggressively oriented this game because there hasn't been too much damage to him early on. Last game, he did get delayed a bit.
Oh no.
So we have a third Rax going down.
Then yeah, that's
a second Reaper already queued up. He's already queuing his building barracks over to the Czar's base.
Yeah, he's looking to get really aggressive, really, really fast. I really want to see him go for Mass Reaper because that is actually a really kind of scary, like especially Proxy Reaper, unlike King Sejon, is like terrifyingly game-ending.
I mean, is he Tech Lab though? I guess this is a
Reaper and a Marauder Reaper.
Stim timing maybe.
Can't
Wasn't
stem
this-
Reapers, Kevin.
Oh, well, I know, but they're fast anyway, right? But like this was a thing, I think, at one point, correct? It was like a three barracks, one base. I don't know if you want to call it an opening. Yeah, come on, Stim, look at me. I'm a pro Terran.
Yeah, well, now that you say that, there's also a really fast layer coming out of Czar. So that could also be a sign of aggression from him, too.
Well,
which is...
but it's delayed because of the layer. So,
No, that's meant. It's a fast layer.
yeah.
So...
Oh, no.
Oh! Almost gets the surround on one of the Reapers.
Reaper up on the main base getting taken out by a queen. A little bit of multitasking difficulties.
The natural does go down for Otsego.
Yeah,
So he
maybe-
will be expanding this game.
Unfortunately for us.
I know, I was excited for Reapers on Reapers. I thought it was going to be a 3-Rax Reaper.
I mean, it still could be a pretty aggressive build. It's a very fast stem timing. It's probably going to be about almost a little less than a minute faster. It's an interesting build. Don't see a factory yet, which would be, with Medivacs, would be a nice tell.
Otsego does need to be careful with these Reapers. He's pretty deep. There's a spine down. There are queens out. It's much better to keep them there, right? Later for a push. It's going to make it just that much stronger. Of course, he does get to scout the mainling nest. Does
These
lose one
Reapers are
Reaper.
just being very, very annoying.
Yeah, worth the scout though, absolutely. So it looks like Otsegoflesh is dropping a factory, which means he might not be not quite the all-in push we might have expected there. We should still see a stem timing. Stem timing should still be very strong. Not a lot of lings out, just one spine, 3 queens. So I mean, this could be really strong. He has exactly one Marauder, right, with another one queued up to follow, which should be enough. I mean, it should do good damage against the spine or the queens.
Yeah, and I mean, we got a long time till Centrifugal. No Banelings really to speak of. I mean, they morph fast, but without Centrifugal, without a nice creep spread, he's going to scout it out really fast, which is going to be nice. I actually might have missed that.
No, I think he saw it.
Yeah, he's going straight
He does
in,
now.
though. Unfortunate if he did or didn't see it. Bunch of lings coming up, but there are absolutely no Banelings.
Oh, he's actually taking a third.
Yeah, and I'm not sure Otsego knows that he is going for the third. The spine goes down really fast. One queen goes down. Second queen's going to go down too.
Oh, there's nothing
Tons of the
here. He
lings.
banelings a minute ago.
No
This is bad news
Banelings.
bears.
No Baneling speed. He might be able to clean
Oh,
it up because of the
Otsegoflesh
overstim.
stimming again. His units are so low.
Very overstimmed and able to clean up very well, but the loss of queens is going to be a long time towards inject. Has not a lot of drones just in general, and a bunch of lings were forced to be created for that attack, and it looks like Otsego's just going to go for it once again. Not sure I agree with that as much.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the same size or a little bit smaller push coming out again, and the Tsar has now had more time to recover. He doesn't have the queens, right? So he doesn't have the injects. But really, that was a great hold out of him. He had a lower supply army. He lost his spine almost for free, but I mean, that was just a matter of a good drone pull at a good timing, and Otsego just using one extra stem, going in a little too ambitiously there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Centrifugal on, or Speedbane's on the creep is just going to make it a lot easier to clean up. He's not going to be able to push it back completely as of yet, but with such a few amount of Marines, it's not going to be very hard to get past in the next time. And it looks like Otsego is just going to pull back.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that the Tsar's third timing was his fatal mistake in this game, but it actually turned out to turn really well. I mean, he held very solidly against that first stem push, and now it puts him in a great economics situation here to stabilize and now to be aggressive.
And go ahead.
He needs to make sure he's not over-aggressive, though. I mean, if these Banelings... Oh, okay, they're not doing too
Good
bad.
connections, but he wants to trade right now. There's
Yeah.
no reason he shouldn't be trying to deny a third.
Yeah, I was a little worried at first. If the control of Otsego, was impeccable, then he probably would have had
He
a
could have
decent
stemmed
trade
and
against
split a
that.
little bit better there to
Yeah.
trade a little better, but I mean, at the end of the day, he had the supply to just about clean him up, if not
Sure.
entirely. And I mean, the cool thing is it means that Otsego needs to once again spend more money on army, while the Tsar gets to gain the benefit of that third.
Certainly. And the Tsar going for just a lot of Lings. I kind of like it. I mean, I just love Lings, to be honest. But Lings are, I mean, they are just extremely effective against just infantry forces.
Right,
There's
yeah,
not,
I mean, until we see Hellions, Hellbats, Mines,
yeah, really just, I mean, anything out of a factory.
anything out of a factory. We do have Medivacs now.
Yeah. So that'll finally make it a little bit harder for the Tsar to do whatever he pleases with his army. But fourth base coming down for the Tsar as well, getting a little bit. I don't know if it's greedy. Oh, he's going for. Oh, this is gonna be sick. He's gonna go like Ling Infestor into Ultra. It's beautiful. Oh, he started drops. He just canceled it. No. It's gonna be something magical.
That
but
would
we
have been
got a drop.
exciting to see some Baneling Ultra drops, but a good drop out of Otsego. Good position with the minerals.
Yeah.
He should pick up before the Banelings get there.
At the same time, there's actually one going for the main base with kind of the majority of the army. He's pulling it to the natural, but the majority of the army is nowhere near the
Doesn't
main.
want to lose the medevac in the natural, though.
Gets the queen at the main, cleans up a few drones, and more importantly, he scouts the pretty fast time. He's going to have a decent idea of what's coming up next. Nice multitasking out of Otsego. He's cleaned up 15, 16, almost 20 drones, and really just kind of forced Caesar, or the Tsar, sorry, to just be all over the map when he really can't be.
Yeah, what once was a game that was decently in the Tsar's favors suddenly just flip-flopped on its head right now.
Oh, good Baneling connections. Looks like this drop should be able to get cleaned up. There's just the one Marauder left. But we can really see the Tsar being taxed in his multitasking here against Otsego.
Yeah, I would really have liked to have seen a third base from Otsego at the same time. He does have a huge force, but he's only just equalized the economy from the Tsar. Not many actually no Banelings on the field, which is very, very hard against Marine tank. No Queen Mutilates, actually no tier 2 tech to speak of, which is going to be pretty hard to deal with this 1-1
23
Marine
Banelings
tank.
morphing, though. If he can get good connections on creep, gets a good surround, he can absolutely turn this fight. But definitely in Otsegoflesh's favor.
Would really like to
He's got
see some free splits.
good Marine splits, but some decent connections in the front. The tanks are in good position. They do absorb a lot of those Baneling hits. Oh, but the follow-up.
Oh, cute little
Saves.
that pickup
So now
though.
we get to see economy versus economy, who's able to produce fast enough to hold. Here, Otsegoflesh decides to stay aggressive, stay in the game. He absolutely has the right to do so. He's got a good count, and it's really on the Tsar to stay calm and collected to hold
Yeah, and bit of miscontrol with the Lings is not where he wants to be. It's just a stream of Terran units coming across the map, and that drop play really might have been what Otsego needed at the end of the game. He's going to be able to clean up the third base. I don't believe he knows about the fourth base, but it's really just kind of for production at this point.
Yeah, but if he pulls his drones over there, you would see, right?
Yeah, no, he would absolutely know. I just meant that it's not an economic point at the moment. A couple more drones do go down with the third base. That probably should tell Otsego what's going on.
So we've got two ultras. Can they be the heroes that we need in this game for,
You know,
for
they're
the Tsar to
tanks,
come
and they're
back?
marauders, and they're stimmed Marines, and I don't think that it's going to make the difference.
Yeah, and the upgrade, the ultra plating doesn't, the Ultralisk extra armor doesn't really line up with this attack. So maybe though.
Yeah, Kaiden's plating isn't done. And actually, a stim upgraded Marines, 2-1 Marines do a lot of damage
Certainly.
to unupgraded Ultralisks.
GG, that is a great comeback from Otsegoflesh there.
was.
He was slowly but surely, the game was spiraling out of control there, and he was able to just, through some really cost-efficient plays there, pull himself back into the game and was able to pull off the win.
Yeah, that was really impressive. A long time to be on two bases, but I think he was pretty comfortable with just getting an army that he knew could deal with it, and really good control. I saw the splits didn't work out perfectly, but I saw some really like nice attempt on splits, and you know that just kind of extra what's it called, resource management. That's not the right word. Extra value out of his units really just kind of gave him the boost to kind of make up for that resource or income deficit.
Sure. Yeah, that was pretty nuts by Otsegoflesh. Kind of proving why maybe, you know, he ended up as the top platinum player from Shycraft Winter 2015. You know,
Sure,
he's
sure, absolutely.
taking names, that's for sure. Sam, our lovely